Well, hey there, folks. I'm Meteorologist Matt Barrentine, the Fox 10 News Now Weather Center, and a beautiful picture of what's going to be some beautiful conditions down at our local beaches as we go through the upcoming, of course, holiday weekend here. It is going to be spectacular for a beach trip, and you can see how nice it looks right now down in Orange Beach. Just absolutely spectacular conditions. All right, Meteorologist Matt Barrentine, let's get on into this, show you what's going to be happening here as we go through this upcoming weekend. Of course, we will check the tropics for you just as well in a few minutes. Look at this. Here we are just after the 10 o'clock hour. Look at the feels like temperature, the heat index, mid-90s already. So we are just going right on up the scale here with these temperatures. It's going to be a scorcher of a day for us here across the Gulf Coast. So be prepared for that. It's going to be hot throughout the day today. It's going to also be dry. High pressure essentially sitting on top of us. That's not going to allow much in the way, well, even of cloud formation. We'll have some puffy white clouds, but we're not going to go overcast or anything today. Here's how that looks on the future cast. Pretty quiet as we go through the day, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. You see it for a brief second. You see a brief little blip there of green. It's not enough to create any showers. It's unlikely we see any rain across the area today. They're most likely going to be dry here across the complete area. So hot, dry, very warm conditions here for us across the Gulf Coast. Get more into the forecast in a minute. First off, though, I wanted to go and give you a quick look down here at the tropics. We got a few areas. Got this one going out to sea. Don't worry about that one. But then we got a whole bunch of stuff happening here. In fact, I'm going to zoom in because there's actually more. I just couldn't put enough circles on there. That's how things are right now. So Omar and Nana gone. They're off the board here at this point. So we have no name systems for the moment. It's going to change rather rapidly here in the next few days. We got multiple systems that all have potential here, here, and here. One just coming off of Africa there. So we got multiple systems way out there in the deep tropics that we're keeping an eye on. So let me go ahead and show you some of the modeling here. Put this into motion. I'm just going to kind of let this run pretty far through down in time. See, it'll stop Wednesday afternoons. That's Wednesday at 5. And I wonder if I can use it'll let me do it. Oh, yes, it will. Haha. I had to move it because I'm kind of in the way. All right, so first off, this is the European model. I know I'm kind of blocking it a little bit. That's the European model. So this is one of our big global models. This is all the way to next Wednesday. This is showing what almost certainly is a hurricane or at least a top-end tropical storm here. It's also showing a little spin right here. So it looks like this might be a little too close. It might be struggling, but that's a tropical system. This has got a spin here, and there's a spin here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'd say at least 3 of these are decent possibilities to become named storms. This is the European model. 3 named storms out here in the D Atlantic, possibly here, by the middle to end of next week. All right, so that's the European model. I'm going to show you now the GFS or the American model. I'm going to go to about the same point Wednesday afternoon, and let me do the same thing I did before. Let me kind of scooch things over and make sure a little bit more so I'm not blocking the way. So first off, there's that first storm. Picked up just exactly the same as that European model just showed. Look, another one right behind it, and then another one right over here coming off the coast, or at least a spin. So for sure, probably 2 name systems by the middle of the week, and very possibly even 3 name systems by the end of next week. So things are going to keep on firing out here in the deep tropics. So just be prepared that we're going to be tracking these this obviously very busy season. I mean, I want to go ahead and show you something here. Is that here we are, here's the list. We've gone through Omar. And that's 15 storms. There's only a list of 21 names. Only got 6 left. And like I said, easily are going to go through Paulette and Renee next week, into next week, and probably maybe even Sally by the end of that week, possibly. So we're just going to scratch through a whole bunch of these names. We're not going to have very many left. So what's going to happen is that we're going to end up going into, like in 2005, we're going to have to start using Greek letters, alpha, beta, gamma. So towards the end of this hurricane season, we're going to have a tropical storm alpha, a tropical storm beta. It's going to happen for sure at this point. This season's just been very wacky and wild, and it will continue to be so as we go through time. So a lot happening out there. I was asking, why are they all coming from the same area? Well, with this time of year, It's actually not unusual to have a whole bunch of storms form out here off of the African coast. That's actually typically what they do. We call that there's a shortened term called MDR, the Main Development Region. And when we get into September, all the ingredients come together right out here off the African coast, and as these tropical waves, so what happens is you have these storms that form over Africa, and once they get out over the ocean, they start getting tropical characteristics and they start working their way, and you can literally have one going right after the other. So this isn't surprising. This is what it's supposed to do in the heart of the season, but we've already had a busy season up until this point, so we're just going to be cranking out the numbers and going through those names with this busy, busy hurricane season. So that's what we're looking at right now. Let's go ahead and give you your forecast here for the next several days. So today is hot. It's going to be well up in the 90s, mid-90s. Heat index values well over 100, probably close to 105. Same deal Saturday and Sunday. Slightly higher rain chances Saturday and Sunday. There will be a couple more isolated showers around for those days. And Monday, of course, is Labor Day, and a few more showers around Labor Day. In fact, I mean, hey, got plenty of time here on Facebook. I'm going to go and bring up the beach forecast because obviously this is pretty important for this upcoming weekend, and it looks terrific. So remember I just showed you all that stuff in the tropics is way out there off the African coast. So, you know, we get to watch all that stuff from afar, and we get nice weather here along the Gulf Coast. No worries about any tropical weather for our Labor Day weekend. We're actually going to have spectacular weather. Yeah, it'll be hot, but hey, it's Labor Day weekend. It's supposed to be. Rain chances stay pretty slim through the weekend. Now, down at the beach, you know, the rain chance is a little less than what it is inland, but Monday will have only a slight chance of rain there. Rip current risk is low. Water temperature 86 degrees out there in the Gulf right now, and the waves about a foot. Now, you do see there's yellow flags. That's just because at our local beaches, they just don't put up green flags. They just don't do it. They won't, because we have so many visitors that come from other areas that don't go into the Gulf, or, you know, very often, that they want to make sure that folks are always cautious. But frankly, it's green flag conditions here this weekend. It is going to be really good conditions out there. So the Gulf is looking really nice. Good conditions for boaters, obviously, as well when it's like this. So great boating conditions, too. Great beach conditions. So great Labor Day conditions all the way around. So just looking absolutely terrific. And I'm going to put up one more thing to talk about here. One more thing we'll discuss. And all right. So here's the long-range forecast. And you can see the first half of it here goes through Labor Day there. You can see the rain chance starting to go up. They go up more during the middle of the week because we're going to have a cold front approaching. And I know folks get excited. Yay, a cold front. It's September. It's about time. And if you looked at your phone the last couple of days and looked at that long-range forecast, you might have seen like low 80s on there for highs. And that looked terrific. That's not happening. Okay, what happened? Because those are based on models. And I tell you, I did go through this every year at this time. The long-range models always oversell these the first front or two that we get in. They always do. And what will happen, like this happened this time around. The long-range models, 9-10 days out, will say, oh, look, we're going to drop in the low 80s in the afternoon. And then once it becomes 6-7 days out, now the models are like, oh, maybe like 84. And then once we get about 4 days out, they're like, oh, maybe like 86. And then when we get 3 days out, I'm like, oh, maybe it's like 88. In other words, they oversell these first couple of fronts generally here in September. So I'm still keeping us at upper 80s. It will be slightly less humid, hopefully, but it won't be a huge, it won't be a massive change. Now, it won't be mid-90s either, so that's an improvement. But nonetheless, don't expect to be breaking out the fall sweaters at the end of next week, okay? It'll be a little bit more comfortable, especially in the mornings, but it'll still be hot. It'll still be humid. It just won't be, it won't be that fall feel that everybody's really waiting on. And generally, it takes towards the end of September we get that first system, sometimes the very first part of October. Now, remember last year, we had record highs all through the month of September and then into like the first week of October. We didn't really cool off until the middle of October last year. I'm hopeful that it's not going to be that way this year, but one never knows. Here's once again how it looks over the next week and a half. I'm going to cut back to the pretty picture down at the beach. Like I said, beautiful beach weather. Josh said it just broke his soul. Well, I mean, I'm just trying to be real. This happens every year. I mean, there's nobody here that would love some more fall weather than me. But like I said, we get with that first front or two, always a dud. So it lets you down. And don't want to get too excited yet. If we get 2 or 3 days out, the models are still saying it's going to be pretty good, then I'll start believing them. All right, once again, let's look at your beach down there in Orange Beach. Look at your beach. Well, yeah, it could be your beach this weekend, I guess. Enjoy it. It's going to be absolutely spectacular for a Labor Day weekend. Great beach weather. Hope you have yourselves a great time. And save those pumpkin lattes for a few weeks. It's not quite there yet. Have a good one, folks. We'll catch you soon. Bye now.